Every day on this channel, I go through everything Elon said on X in the last 24 hours. And Dan Ives is a Wall Street analyst, and he says that the Tesla board of directors should take the following 3 steps in our view. 1, they should get a new compensation package, getting Musk to 25% voting control. This clears a path for an XAI merger. And number 2, you should add guardrails established for the amount of time Musk spends at Tesla as part of the pay package. And number 3, you should have oversight on his political endeavors. Elon replies, "Shut up, Dan." And Elon reposted this video from TikTok where just regular people who are not Tesla influencers are getting invited to use Robotaxi. And this guy takes it across town for $4.20. And Elon reposted that the Cybertruck is the best trailhead truck hands down. At first, your Tesla comes to pick you up, then it drives you where you need to go, all on its own, under your supervision. And Moondragon wants you to share a piece of lore about yourself, and Tesla says one of our cars is literally floating in space right now, and Elon reposted that one as well. And wow, whenever someone tags Grok on X, Grok automatically responds. And so it already has 15.7 million posts on X. And X removed the colors from the premium tab. X is now ranked as the #1 news app in Israel. And X also shared a piece of lore about itself, saying, "I used to be a bird," and Elon has a laugh at that one. And Jared Isaacman is going to match donations to those who want to help support the Texas flood, and he's going to donate a minimum of 500 grand. And Elon reposted that one. Now, Elon is posting a lot about the fact that the Republicans and the FBI have reported that there was no client list from the Epstein files. Elon says, how can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files? And someone replied asking, will exposing the Epstein files rank high on the America parties list? And Elon says, yes. Clint Russell says, if someone creates a political party that doesn't cater to blood-soaked child trafficking demons, I'm in. And Elon responds with the American flag. America party is the solution. That's Elon's narrative today. The lectern guy says, I can't believe I served more time in federal prison for moving a lectern than any of Epstein's clients. And Roger Stone asks, why would Jeffrey Epstein associate Steve Bannon try to help Robert Mueller send me to prison by perjuring himself at my trial? Why would Bannon meet with Epstein both at his New York home and in Paris after Epstein was convicted on sex crimes in Florida? Why would he coach Epstein for his 60-minute appearance? And Elon said, because he's in the Epstein files. And Glenn Beck says the Epstein case isn't over. It's the Rosetta Stone of public trust. And if we don't get to the bottom of it, we'll never restore what's already been lost. And Elon agrees. And Cillian says the Epstein list will never be released. There will be no arrest. There will be no accountability. There will be no justice. We have been had. Elon says yes. And Elon says they arrested and killed Peanut. Peanut the squirrel was a squirrel in New York who was euthanized by New York officials because his owner faced legal issues. So Elon says they arrested Peanut, but have not even tried to file charges against anyone on the Epstein client list. The government is deeply broken. And here's Jim Halpert saying more squirrels and raccoons have been arrested than anyone on Epstein's client list. And today Trump was asked about the Epstein files, and he sort of goes off on the reporter who asked him. He says, are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? We have Texas, this, all of these things. Are people still talking about this creep? That is unbelievable. I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein. So then Trump asked FBI Director Pam Bondi if she wanted to answer. And she said the file was ready to review. That's what I meant when she said in the past that it was on her desk. She said to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn, never going to be released. He committed suicide. So Roth misquotes that to the tens of thousands of video, and he says, with who? And Elon reposted this one. And Chief Nerd says, this is a blatant violation of a promise that Trump made during the campaign where he did say he would release the files. This is just so transparently a cover-up and it's indefensible, and Elon agrees. And on a Joe Rogan podcast, Joe Rogan asked Elon, how do you put someone in jail and you don't even name the clients? And Elon responded saying, whenever they raided Epstein's place, there would have been like a mountain of evidence. Where is that mountain? The public will be rightly frustrated if no one is prosecuted. And that time has come and people are frustrated. And here's that same quote from Trump before saying, are people still talking about this creep? Elon replies with a little eyebrow. And the Babylon Bee writes that Bondi explains she was going to release the Epstein files, but then some pedophiles asked her not to. And Sank says it's literally insane to say that you won't prosecute child rapists. Trump administration says there were hundreds of underage girls who were raped, and we won't prosecute a single person who did it. Isn't that nuts? Previous administrations also didn't prosecute. What is this? And Miss Kawaii asks Grok what it thinks. Grok says it's downright criminal, and Elon agrees. And Bondi says she can't release the horrific videos of child porn. Okay, I get that. Who is in the videos with the children, though? Who were they? And Elon says, exactly. And Wendy says it's her red line. We cannot coexist with people who think raping children is acceptable. And Elon says, yeah, that's my red line too. And Elon says, you should ask Steve Bannon if he's in the Epstein files and watch his reaction. And Gunther Eagleman says, I would have never thought our government would allow people to rape children on Epstein's island and just let it slide. It's not okay. But Jeebus says the joke's on Epstein. Turns out the state didn't have any evidence, so never kill yourself. And Elon has a laugh at that one. And Laura Loomer says, today Pam Bondi lied and said the government has no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein being a spy or agent for an intelligence agency. This is a lie because FBI documents from 2008 prove that Epstein provided information for the FBI as agreed upon. Epstein had an agreement with the FBI, which is indeed an intelligence agency. And here is the document, and the circled part says Epstein has also provided information to the FBI as agreed upon. And you can see the date of the document, 2008, September 18th. And Elon replies to this saying, interesting. So yeah, Elon's definitely taking advantage of the lack of transparency from the government to talk about the America Party. He reposted this from I Like Tesla saying that independents will find a home in the America Party. And he paired it with this post from Farzad, which says that 43% of the US is independent, but 99% of Congress is Republican or Democrat. And he also reposted this clip today, which says that the national debt is actually double what people think it is because of our future obligations. He says the government's one big pyramid scheme. And he says Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. People pay into Social Security and the money goes out of Social Security immediately. But the obligation for Social Security is your entire retirement career. And if you look at the future obligations of Social Security, it far exceeds the tax revenue. So there's our present day debt, but then there's our future obligations. So when you look at the future obligations of Social Security, the actual national debt is like double what people think it is because of the future obligations. And basically, people are living way longer than expected, and there are fewer babies being born. So you have more people who are retired that live for a long time and get retirement payments. And however bad the financial situation is right now for the federal government, it will be much worse in the future. So we better fix what we've got right now, because if it's bad now, it's going to be much worse in the future. And I think this would be a good response to anyone who says, why is Elon getting into politics when he only seems to do things that are of the most pressing nature? And people argue that the debt crisis should not be at the top of his list because why can't he just deal with it 10 or 12 years down the line when it gets worse? But he's arguing that the future obligations are going under the rug, and it's actually a lot worse than people think it is right now. But Elon cleared Pit 100, so he's back to #1 rank hardcore in Diablo 4. He forgot to trigger Grizzly Rage a few times, so he almost died. I guess this is Pit 108. And Hater says, oh no, we hit this point a lot faster than I expected. Those who know. And this is a scene from the 2014 film Ex Machina. And of course, this is Elon's ex-wife. And this guy's asking, are you real? And she replies, or it replies in this case perhaps, well, if you can't tell, does it matter? And Elon replies saying, I'm pretty sure Tallulah was real. And I'm sure you all saw what Trump said about Elon yesterday. Tesla Holdler made a meme about it saying, Elon replied saying, I ain't reading all that. I'm happy for you though. Or sorry that happened. So today, Elon responded to this saying, pretty funny. But actually, I didn't respond at all. And USA birth rates have been below the minimum sustainable levels for 50 years. It actually hit the replacement level in 2008, but we're down to some record lows, and Elon reposted this. And 16 months ago, the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed in Baltimore after a cargo ship hit it. And we still haven't started building a new bridge. He says it only took us 410 days to build the Empire State Building in 1930. We've literally become less capable, drowning ourselves in red tape and regulation. And Elon replies saying, we are suffering slow strangulation by excess regulation. And USAID shipped thousands of viral samples to a lab in Wuhan over the course of a 10-year program, even though it had no formal agreement with the lab in place. And Mike Benz quotes this saying, how many millions of lives did USAID kill? And Elon reposts that one. And Chris says that unmanned system defense contracts should be determined by King of the Hill in a 100 cubic kilometer area near Las Vegas. The rules are there's no humans allowed in the box. Any non-nuclear system may enter. Leaders determined by controlling a randomly determined zone. And the monthly winner gets $100 million. And Elon says, good idea. cuts out the BS. And if you recall yesterday, Elon said that we better figure out how to build drones at scale fast or we are doomed. And Naval said today that the drone arms race is as important as the nuclear arms race. Except there are no diminishing returns to better and better drones, so the drone arms race continues forever. And Elon replied saying, "And we are losing very badly. Spending over $1 trillion on a useless new crewed fighter plane instead of a drone program is severely undermining our national security." And Adam responded to this saying, "I'm seeing in Ukraine $1,000 drones destroying $100 million Russian equipment. Drones are the future." And Elon agrees. So that is everything that Elon said today on X. I've got some friends coming over. We're going to shoot a video for Tesla's global video contest. The winner gets a brand new Model Y and a tour of the Gigafactory Texas lines. I'm super excited, and I'll share some photos on X tonight, and I'll share the video with you guys in a couple of days. And if you guys want early access to these videos or you just want to support the channel, you can do so by joining the channel as a member, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.